Lil Tecca recently has dropped 2 brand new singles for us ahead of his new album, TEC. And I don't know if that classifies as being like a self-titled project for Tecca, but that's what his next project's gonna be. That's what he's gearing up to release. And if you look at this post up on Instagram from a couple weeks ago, it says that the album TEC is 100% done. He also has dropped a couple singles recently that have been pretty good that I'm gonna be talking about. And the whole reason why I'm making this video is because of the singles that have dropped recently. Kind of recently though, he came back with a snippet. The song's called Heaven on Earth. It's bouncy, it's catchy. Tecca's produced on there along with Benny X, who's like the hottest producer in the game right now. Some people are hating on Benny X for whatever reason. I don't know why that started on Twitter. It's a catchy song. Tecca does his thing, kind of a little summer anthem. Nothing too revolutionary, I will say, from his 2 singles. It's kind of Tecca's lane right here is what I'd say on Heaven on Earth. It's got a bounce to it. It's an upbeat, trap song like that. It's enjoyable music from Tecca. I can't complain, especially, at the end of the summer right here. Kodak, his verse on the song, it was just alright for me. I think it fit the song. I don't think it, took it anywhere else or at a higher level than what it is. Then the other one from a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that really started sparking my interest again in Tecca's music was 500 Pounds. I think this is, better of the 2 recent singles. Again, the beat was just better than usual for Tecca, and I think he needs to stay on that production level, tapping in with guys like Benny X and stuff like that. That's going to take Tecca to the next level in my opinion. I think Taz Taylor also produced on this song 500 Pounds, which, he does this thing. He knows how to orchestrate Internet Money and how to orchestrate all these artists and everything. I think this album's gonna be with Internet Money, like fully, executive produced by Taz and them. I could possibly be wrong. They're still gonna have production credits, and at least work together for this project. But yeah, 500 Pounds was great. I think, again, the beats just got that little synth in it or whatever. That's just instantly, it just makes the song catchy. It just makes the song fun. It's upbeat, fun trap music that Tecca's delivered for us for years now. And I'm not sure if those are going to be the only 2 singles that end up on the project. There's been a couple other ones in the last year or two. The gap we've had in between his last album and up until now has been about 2 years since We Love You Tecca 2, and I thought the singles for that album and kind of him rolling out that album was really fun, but that was all the way back in 2021. So kind of since then I've been sleeping on Tecca. I gotta re-listen to a few of these songs. A couple of them I got it added to my playlist, but I really just in general in the last 2 years I haven't really listened to Tecca a ton. I've always been interested in his music since the day he dropped Ransom. I became a fan, and I still do think We Love You Tecca is probably his best project, and I'm not even being blinded by nostalgia. I just think like that generally has so many strong songs on it. I think that Virgo World was actually pretty solid. I think this also is one that had great singles leading up to it. It was a little slow here and there, but yeah, again, plenty of hits on this project. I think it was almost as good as the first We Love You Tecca, and We Love You Tecca 2 wasn't even bad. For me, this just dropped at a time where CLB, versus Donda, Drake versus Kanye was going on. I think Yeet was blowing up at the time, and then Trippie just dropped Trip at Night, and this was all going on within like the same couple of weeks. And so when Tecca dropped this album in the midst of all of that, it was just hard to even give my focus on that because there's so much other stuff to listen to. But this was another one with plenty of great songs. I think this had better collabs than Virgo World did, and honestly I wouldn't even be that mind blown if his new album TEC came out and it ended up being really good and almost the best in his discography. Tecca's a very consistent artist. Again, I don't think he's stepping out of box too crazy with these new singles or what he's going to be doing on TEC. But yeah, as long as I get good enjoyable music and Tecca just keeps doing what he's doing but elevating his production, then I'm gonna be satisfied with this album. It's gonna rank up there in his discography. Also, another thing that Tecca's done, in the gap of 2 years since his last project, was he's definitely influenced the underground, helped produce for them, figured out who guys like Ty Fontaine, who's one of my favorite artists. I found out who he was because Tecca was producing for him. That was all the way back in 2020 though. Tecca did help Sofego blow up, by producing for him and pushing his music, and I think that's probably why I found out who Sofego was, and like Tana as well, who's also had these guys have had successful underground careers. You gotta give credit for Tecca for having a very solid career in this rap game. I don't think this album TEC is gonna like blow anyone away away with like sales or like have a big hit like that. But Tecca's always gonna, like I said, have that core fan base that's always gonna stick with his music. As long as he's, you know, just updating his sound like he's been doing a little bit with these last couple singles, he's gonna stay relevant. He's gonna keep doing his thing. He always comes back with a good rollout every time. He gets you excited for new music. It's like, it's easy to be a fan of Tecca. The dude just seems like a wholesome guy. On top of that, he's got some of the best outfits, the best fit pictures in the game. Just trying to test in the waters with Tecca content before we get into his album. Other than that, I have more thoughts over on Twitter and Instagram. Go check me out there, and I'll catch you guys soon with more videos. Peace.